Right. Hello, everyone. So, Mediumship Monday. So, if you've never joined me for this before, we basically do mediumship on a Monday. But really, I do mediumship every day because I am a medium. But yeah, this is where it's an open invite, an open house for the loved ones in spirit. And my nose has been itching like mad, and that's my sign for loved ones in spirit. So again, I'm always just open. Some days, some nights. Well, it's mostly nights I do this. Is it? It's always nights. What am I talking about? Most nights I do this. It is same old, same old. You know, it could just seem like the same thing I do all the rest of the time. Hello, Charlotte. And other nights it can be that little bit more exciting for me anyway. You know, for me doing it, but also for me when I watch it back. And I tend to only really watch these back once, and sometimes I've even not been watching it back at all. It depends because some of them are really long and got shit to do. Do you know what I'm saying? But I usually do have to film to put the title in. But yeah, we'll be open because, like I said, there is a lot of unexpected, shocking, surprising energy. Now, this is an Adele song. Is that? It is. Wow, that's exciting. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. When the sky falls and it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together at the skyfall. I've actually done it a bit too. I was ahead of the words on the screen, but it's because so that is very interesting, because that song, um, now that interests me that that came out in 2012 because that actually, yeah, well, anyway, that song, I've got many meanings for that song. And I just know that that's definitely one of my guides telling me there's very significant endings taking place. And it's intense. Because, you know, that song is intense. It's from James Bond. But swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall. Wait a minute, I'm sure I think it's something about this moment. We will stand tall and face it all together. That's the bit I just sang. Skyfall. It's like, yeah, significant endings. That's what I'm feeling. Right, so let's shuffle these wee bits of paper. So if you're joining me live or on the replay, well, basically live is going to be that basically I'm just going to tap into the collective energy and bring through messages for the collective, which can resonate with anyone. But oh, wait a minute, just in case I need to get in a habit of doing that. If anyone wants private ones, this is the information. But if I do happen to pick up on someone in spirit for you, then it's just the luck of the draw. Right, so, and that can be for people that catch it after as well. I just want to see how long was that? Fucking hell, it was nearly 2 hours. Anyway, whatever. That's good. That's the thing though. That's going to happen because I'm doing them like just one on the night, and I don't mind. See, I prefer that than doing them all together. And you seem to prefer it too. More people are watching, so why does that still? Oh no, I'm like, why does it still say I'm live? Because that's the one that I wanted. Right. So, oh fuck's sake, I just a minute, copy. Face it all together at the skyfall when it crumbles. Right. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. I think that's the karmic endings. Right. So let's. What time is it? This alarm needs to stop fucking going off. It's 11:15. So I think I better just call it that I'm here an hour. Otherwise, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't. If we're having fun, I could be on here later because I'm not. I'm treating tomorrow as a day off until I do this again at 8 or 9, depending on how I feel. So I don't need to be an hour, but we'll set it for an hour. Um, because, right, whenever it's a Pisces moon, I'm not up for a lot. So, and it's Pisces moon. Oh, I didn't mean to put 10 or whatever. I just do that so that I get in the habit of using it. Tuesday always used to be my busiest day, but yeah, things are changing. Things are changing. Move with the times. Right. Right. So let's shuffle these because I found them. So what have we got for? What have we got? Inspire me with the bits of paper. What is this video? What's that? I don't know what that is. Little talk, so that's like Gemini season coming in tomorrow. Conversation, channeled healing. Oh yeah, that's so that's weird. That is what I thought I was going to be doing tonight. Oh my god! Again, that was me having the clairvoyant vision before. Channeled healing without cards. Card guided. Okay, yeah. I forgot that might just be the only one, but they did want me. Now I can't do that if there's not a lot of people on here. So, but I will do some sort of. I'll just see what they inspire me to do. But I did feel there was going to be a bit of healing without the cards, and then a card at the end if I'm guided, which more than likely will be. So I don't know. I don't know whether I'll start. I think I'll do that at the end. So I'll leave it there so it reminds me, and or remind me if you're still here, please. Let's give me another one. But that is really interesting because that is what they were telling me last night I was going to be doing. Twinflame messages, mediumship. Oh, it is medium. That doesn't happen all the time. That's okay. Inner child healing. That makes sense with what I've done before. Right. Okay. So what I'll do then is I will just do some collective energy. And I'm going by the fact that mediumships come out that I'm going to be picking up on some significant messages from a loved one in spirit. But let's just do a wee warm up. So I actually think I want to pull one from here and read from the book. So give us a card, something that the collective right now need to hear. What do you want a reminder for? I tuned out briefly. Just basically, if you're still on and it looks like I'm winding, well, I don't know. That's hard to tell. The reminder was just that I've to do some channeled healing at some point. So even if that's quite brief, but I just want to do that before I come off. It feels like maybe like some sort of collective healing to send people off to sleep. Well, if you're in the UK, obviously other people it's other times. But anyway, I'll remember Charlotte because it's sitting there. But thank you. Right, so let's put these bits of paper over here though. What is a card for the collective right now? Whoa, that's pretty deep, man. Right, so we have, I'm going to read them both. Duality merge, surrender dark into light. Now, if you watched the Aquarius, or if you didn't, I would advise you to watch it because, like I said, everyone's got that energy somewhere. Oh no, maybe it wasn't on that. Sorry, it was on the shorts. I said on one of the shorts, and again, I haven't watched these back, but I filmed them before this. It's sort of like going from the darkness to the light. And it feels like very much like what I said on the Aquarius one, where it's like a lot of people coming out of like not wanting to socialize and wanting to socialize now. And I know that's a bit delayed because we have been, we're in the summer now. Really, well, I suppose it's the official summer when it's the summer solstice, isn't it? But it's like that's what it feels like, the warmer weather and just generally people coming out of hermit mode a bit. But yeah, duality merge, surrender dark into light. That is definitely the twin flame specifically integrating their shadow side the masculine in particular, because the feminine has already integrated the shadow for most people that are going to resonate with this, and then the masculine is now integrating their shadow side. But this in general is you're coming in to balance with each other. What is happening? What is happening here? For God's sake, Charlotte. I mean, did you put that clip in again? Except the clip was not for public, but I'm not gonna. There's no point in doing that. But I had a clip in when I was in the membership because it was to lift my hair, and now it's like, I don't know what this bit's doing. I might use the clip because that's annoying me. Let's just move out of the way. There. Surrender dark to light, and then look at this, right? Return to source reality. Embrace the gift of physical incarnation. I know what they're saying. This is the yin yang energy. Oh my God, of course, I didn't know that. There's a little yin yang symbol right in the middle. It's tiny. But this is the yin yang energy balancing within you, within your connection. And this is for the people that this is divinely timed for. You're going to be embracing the gift of physical incarnation, which you should be fucking embracing the gift of physical incarnation for your own life, of course, like the message that's just come out in the live stream before this. But I feel this is about embracing, like enjoying the physical incarnation with each other, you know, like you've done the work and now you get to enjoy that bit. So I mean, again, it's a little bit like the energy of like you're being rewarded for the work. That's what I'm getting. Quite a big collective message. Why is that one went out of the shot? Oh, this really, really annoys me. Surely if I'm moving the cards closer together, they should be in the shot. I don't get it. Why is it clearer? Oh. Surely one of them's going to be all right. Can't see the words. Oh, that'll do. I held it really quickly, but I'll... Right, okay, so let's read these. What's the next one? Salt water. Salt baths are ocean time. I mentioned that in that live that was on. Salt baths. I love a salt bath. Already had mine today. Right, so duality merge. One. Oh my good golly gosh. Right, so don't normally say that, but that's what I said. Oh, I just opened the book. It's salt water. That must be important. Tears are also salty. The ocean is connected with the moon and emotions. Its tides and waves, always varying, powerful yet flowing. Clearing can also be in the form of release. Tears are welcome. So somebody needed that. Drawing this card might be a call to visit the ocean. It may be a soft reminder that it's okay to allow yourself to release the tears. It may be a clear invitation to explore using salt in your home to clear energies. Again, not a coincidence, I mentioned salt baths on the Aquarius live stream before this. I know I just said that, but they're getting me second. Oh, what's that again? I think that song might be Next to You or Next to Me. Ooh. What is it? You yeah, it is. Emily Sandy, Next to Me. Ooh, that's all I remember. If I remember rightly, that song's like, you won't find him something, something, something. You will find him, you'll find him next to me. Oh, so however that fits in with this, but right. This is a good as more day-to-day option for general energetic upkeep. If a stronger clearing is necessary, you might like to combine using salt with one or more of the clearing practices shared in the water section. Yeah, so basically you might be like myself and you enjoy a good salt bath, or you might also like be myself and you live near a beach, so you've got the luxury of doing that. Or you might not live near a beach at all and you need to visit the ocean or a beach. So however this all fits with you, you might want to drink salt water because, I don't know, it's good for clearing out infection and shit like that. It doesn't taste very nice. However, that all fits. But right, let's get to the one I pulled. So 51. To clear out the unwelcome. That's why they're going on about that. So 51. Duality merge, surrender dark into light. Remove judgment around good and bad, black and white. Harmonize and align unloved parts back into wholeness so you can hold a greater capacity for light. What if the endless black void was the same as the infinite white light? Bask in the moment of presence where both merge into oneness and feel the web of interconnectivity with all. This card represents the notion of non-duality, which is a fundamental building block of samadhi, the enlightened experience. Non-duality refers to the interconnectedness of everything, the singular wholeness of existence. Cultivating the experience of non-duality is a practice of resting the mind in a place of non-judgment, allowing us to reach greater states of consciousness and bliss, including in our everyday, moment-to-moment awakened experience. When we operate from a non-dual perspective, instead of defining the things in our reality as good or bad, we see the bigger picture of the yin-yang blend of life. And this is how I like to live my life, day to day. Again, I am far from perfect, believe me, far from perfect. But when I'm having, a good day-to-day experience, I mostly like to remind myself of a lot of what was said there and just sort of observe it rather than like be completely consumed by it. But again, nobody can stay completely always where they want to be. So, it's just in general, it's good to sort of be the observer in some experiences. So, in the old paradigm, religion has presented binary ways to view good or bad, the concept of heaven and hell being one with them. While this may have begun with the best intentions, we can see that this black and white thinking has not served us. When natural parts of ourselves are judged or shamed, which if you're around here all the time, you'll hear me say all the time, but it's because it's true. Like, I cannot stand the energy of blame and shame. And that doesn't mean that, like, oh, if you fuck up, you don't, have a time of beating yourself up for stuff. It just happens. You're human. It's going to happen. Or that if somebody fucks up towards you, that they don't do the same and, feel guided to apologize. But again, like I say all the time, also, there's some people you'll be waiting around forever and you're never going to get the apology. So you just need to accept that it's no coming and, give them the energetic forgiveness and keep it moving kind of thing. And some people will surprise you and you will get an apology. Again, the apologies might come from people that you would never have expected it would. And the people that you would have thought would apologize won't. So let it go and just kind of observe it all. But yeah, typically blame and shame literally never helps anyone. And it's something that, generally speaking, it tends to be with the older collective, because I know I've got a lot of clients that are older than me and people that watch, but it is a generational thing where a lot of older people do tend to be in that kind of somebody needs to get the blame, or shaming people, and it's not always an older thing, but you know what I mean. It's definitely something I've witnessed in personal situations and just collectively. So just look out for that in yourself, because no matter what age you are, especially even if you're sort of younger, like, you could have picked up bad habits from other people around you. And so it's good when you catch that within yourself, you can be like, actually, I don't want to give this person a hard time. Like, I know they're sorry. They've said they're sorry. I want to forgive and move on. And it's like when I always give the same example, but it's true, of like, who the fuck would want to hang around somebody that was constantly bringing up, like, every day, every bad thing you've ever done in your life and all the shit that you know what I mean? It's like, you just want to clear the air, clear the differences, and move the fuck on. Surely that's what most people want. And especially when I'm talking about on the twin flame journey, trust me, that is definitely what people want. The feminine and the masculine, definitely, but the feminine too. It's like, you've already went through all the bullshit. You just want to be happy now. Shadows have far more potential for negative outcomes when they are in this shrouded place, pushed away into the subconscious. These unintegrated, and this is why I always say this, so I think this is why I like this card. These unintegrated parts of ourselves will automatically run our thoughts and our behaviors to their own agendas, keeping us out of happiness and affecting how we show up in the world. And that's why I'm very passionate about getting people out of that. If you don't shed light on the darkness or the self-sabotaging habits on your subconscious that's running the show, you will keep settling for less in love, friendships, your work, your general goals. You won't really have any or many aspirations at all. You'll just keep like living a boring, mundane like life, just being on a hamster wheel. And that is a majority of people, to be honest. Not the people that tune in here, because hopefully you take on the messages and you do something with it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I've been there too, where you just stay stuck in the same old pattern, you do the same old thing. But when you integrate your shadow, when you actually look at it and you're like, right, I keep repeating the same patterns, they don't help me. I need to do something about this, and you do that deep inner work and you get the help where you need it to shine light on the parts that you can't either shine light on at all, or you're not seeing something to get a different perspective, or in some cases you can see what you're doing, but it's good to get an outside perspective on it. And then maybe that outside perspective, like I'm thinking of, like, it feels like someone, what it is you keep doing, and although the reading will actually tell you what you already know, it's good to be like, yeah, that's exactly what I was getting, and I trust this person, that's what I was getting. And whatever is said in the reading then actually tells you what would help you, and then maybe you need to go to a different healer. So what I'm thinking of is like maybe like a reading like shows you where you're stuck. So guess what? Like I say, you don't go and get another reading. Like this is why I say all the time, although I use cards and I do readings, like most of my personal sessions are not readings at all. Yes, I use cards and there's readings that come in it, but it's healing and it's clearing energy and it's getting the person stuck where they're unstuck. And it's funny that Shake It Off just came off as I'm saying this, but it's like, it shakes off that stuck, stagnant energy, which is why I think that salt card came through as well. Um, but if you're actually too scared to shed light on the darkness and the reasons behind why you're self-sabotaging, and again, believe me, you might think, oh, but why would people are very scared to do that, because it could be some real deep-seated pain and trauma from childhood or from past lives that is the reason why you're self-sabotaging. So I can see the links between. It's not a coincidence we just ended the Aquarius 11th house live stream by doing an inner child healing on the masculine side, which is also for the feminine too. And now this is coming up, you know what I mean? So this is a real collective theme right now. But yeah. Oh God. Fucking right, okay. There's more. In recent times, there's been an upsurge in awareness of how important shadow integration is. So actually, this must be really important for this card to come out, because this is totally a lot of you will resonate with this, but this is definitely the energy that I bring to this channel all the time. It's why people get fed up with me talking about shadow integration, but it is important because like yeah. I just see it everywhere and it's so annoying, like it's people that try to make out like they are perfect and they've got it all together. But it's like when I said that more recently, I think it was last week, but it's definitely, a huge sign of when someone hasn't integrated their shadow is when they're coming across one way. And normally, let's give that example. People in public are coming across one way, but then the experience behind the scenes is vastly different from how they're coming across in public. And you can go by that by how people talk in the light. Like again, so obviously it's like a fucking tumbleweed ghost town around here tonight, but at least Charlotte's here. And again, I feel that there are, well, I know there are people watching, but people aren't wanting to talk right now. So that's fine. You do you, boo. But it's like when people are in chatty mode around here, there's enough people that are saying like, oh, that session with Claire recently was great, or you help me do this, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Like it generally fits up with what I'm saying about how I am in a session and what the people are saying, But what would be a good indication of what's not right is when, like, perhaps you're seeing somebody do their thing in public and then you're having private conversations with people about and the experiences is like, it's totally like worlds apart from what I mean. That's a good sign of somebody not integrating the shadow. So again, this is good to look at that within yourself too. Like, is how I'm showing up in general day to day, like is this actually how I am behind the scenes too. And obviously this is why I could talk about this for hours, because it's so complex. Like obviously everybody has like sides of them that are just for your special people, or just your lover or just your best friend or blah blah blah. But in general, like definitely, I think that example is the best one. If you work with the public and you also work with clients, um, especially if it's in the not so nice experiences, like, you know what I mean, that there's something that needs to be integrated within that person doing that work. Because yeah, business would suffer, if you're not basically, if you're not being a general very nice person behind the scenes, but you're being nice about it's not a good idea for business, is it? So it's an obvious one, but it's a good example. Don't be a dick. I think that's the message. Don't be a dick. So regardless of whether you're male or female, but I think it's wise to remember as well that in these weird, unsettling times, that feels like a message too. Don't instantly jump to shame and blame and judging people, because my feeling on as I'm saying this, the song "We Don't Talk Anymore" has just come on. So you see how that fits too. Like sometimes people go into like ghosting, or quiet and introspective because they're overwhelmed, and they're and not able to handle their emotions, so they shut down. And that can happen with people, with work too. So, but where I would just, whoever that's applying to, whether you're on the receiving end of that, or because you inevitably will have been at some point, it's like you just kind of get hold of someone and it's like, what the fuck is this all about? Now, it could be because the person's really busy, but it could be because they're overwhelmed. Um, and sometimes it can just be because people are rude. But what I'm saying is, don't always jump to that conclusion. Um, it feels like there's a lot of deep, deep shadow work being done at this time. So, hello, Renee. How are you doing? Um, right. So we can address the shadows that we've judged as bad, unacceptable, or shameful. These may be specific to our upbringing or societal. During a period in my life where it was finally time to delve into exploring the shadow integration, I discovered that a true healer is one who shines light in all the dark corners. And again, that's like what I said. That is something that I am very proud to be with my North Node, and a lot of you watching too. I see you. My North Node in Gemini, which we're about to go into Gemini season tomorrow, in the eighth house. That is where it is literally my calling to shine light on the darkness for not only the twin flames, but the collective, the people in the world that want to listen that aren't on the twin flame journey. It just so happens that in this part of my life, mostly, it's helping it's always helping the twin flames, but in public, anyone can listen. But in my personal sessions, it's all twin flames. Right. So, and it's because that, like I said, I do really embody yin yang energy in everything I do. That's just the best way I could describe it. So, we might think that to be a high vibrational, bright light worker, in inverted commas, anchoring a new evolved frequency on Earth, wouldn't we need to only love and light? Whatever, I think this woman's very like me. Every time I read her stuff, it's like how I say that. Whatever high frequency transcendental state we may reach, we are still humans living in the world at this time. We can let nature be a teacher to us in this. When we see a pristine rainforest that's perfectly balanced ecosystem, there is death. There are eating other things. There's uncomfortable moments for individuals. There's still pain, yet in the part of the cycle of life, this is Earth, even in the most paradise-like place. Unfortunately, the notion of being love and light only prompts us to push our shadows and less inspiring feelings away. Yeah, and that's why I always say that. I don't particularly resonate with that term, because generally it's like it can encourage you to like be like, oh, be positive. You're being too negative. Like you could do that to yourself. Like, oh, I'm being too negative today. I need to be more positive. Or you could do it to other people. Like, oh, stop talking about the past. We're in the present. Because again, this is where it gets really hazy. Because like I said, that's definitely a generational thing. I mean, you definitely hear me with your mums and dads out there, guaranteed. You're definitely going to have had that said to you at some point, like, that's all in the past. It's like, yeah, well, the past is bother me and I need to talk about it, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. And you need to talk about the past for somebody else to help you. It's just depends what it is we're talking about here. But this doesn't just need to be a generational thing. This can be people of all ages. Like I've dealt with people my own age or even younger people that are like, you know, toxic positivity, like toxic positivity is when someone's like, you're just being really negative or you're focusing on all this negative stuff. The amount of times somebody's said to me before, normally people I'm, not around me anymore, but like the amount of times someone said to me like, oh, you're just being really negative or you're seeing the bad in people. 9 times out of 10 or 10, it always turned out that whenever I was seeing something negative about somebody or like giving a heads up, it was people that fucked those people over. You know what I mean? So that's a good example of like, you know, again, I say this a lot, but it does remind me of that in the shamanic deck, be grateful for the friend that shows you what you need to see, not necessarily what you wanted to see, because it's not pleasant, and that's a good example of that, and then a one step deeper with the shadow integration would be rather than like once you've moved through the pain of like betrayals or people letting you down or all that kind of stuff, rather than staying in that kind of anger and blaming the other person for your pain and blah blah blah. Like when you can move through that and be like, right, though that person's actions really fucking hurt me and like, I'm quite shocked and maybe however bad it is, I don't want to see them and fuck them and all. You could go stronger once you allow yourself to feel the anger and the blame and the all the things you're saying and move through it, and then however deep this is for people, because it is that deep. We're not using that toxic term. It's not that deep. We're talking about deep stuff here, like because like I said, I'm saying like that's a riddle, but that is in itself what I've said. Like I can't stand that term. Like I'll sometimes say it in jest, but I try to not even say it in jest because it's such a toxic term. It's really not, because if you think about it, if you when you watch reality programs, which I again, full disclosure, that's my favorite. That is my favorite Sag Moon thing to do when I'm not doing this. It's not like when I'm not doing this, I'm always watching reality TV, but because some days I don't watch TV, believe it or not. But I do like to relax watching, like for instance, like what all I done yesterday, which was watch reruns of Towie. Now Towie, if you're not in the UK, is the only way is Essex, and the reason I do that is because I just love it. But it was old episodes, and actually, quite interestingly enough, it was old episodes that I do feel was very symbolic of where a lot of the collective were at, and it was like episodes of where this couple are like going through karmic cycles of a relationship where it's clearly flogging a dead horse and should have ended a while ago, and so that can be relevant for some people listening to this too. But it's like one of them's like really codependent, like can't even imagine like move loving somebody as much as she loved the guy and stuff. But it's clear when you're watching it, it's like, you will. It's just it's unhealthy. Like you've morphed into one another in a really unhealthy way. Because the guy was out cheating with everybody with it. They're good looking people. On that program, they're mostly all good looking. But obviously, if you're out doing that, you're not the right person. Because if you was satisfied with the right person, you wouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that guy's yeah. I don't know if that guy's ever going to settle down. I'm not psychoanalyzing everyone here, but again, but with me saying that, so that actually, I feel that's bringing in. If you think about it, because that is a that is a judgment that could be. Although I'm talking about the people in that program, that could be like your attitude towards someone in your life or what they think you think about them or something like that. I could see that. But yeah, generally, the reason why I was saying that, because it will have a meaning, was when you watch the same program or the same films that you've seen before and you know how it ends, it can actually be really relaxing. Like if you're feeling a bit anxious or, yeah, because there's no surprises coming. You already know what's coming. So if you do that, that's why. Just in case if you didn't know why you done that. But we're not living in those times, guys. We're living in very unexpected, surprising times. Just saying. Yeah. So, yeah. However, they don't go away. They get pushed down, but they are undealt with, creating disease in our beingness and making it hard to maintain that true, loving, compassionate high frequency, which I spoke about on the live before. Shadows can also become sickness if they stay in the body long enough. And I also picked up on people that were feeling unwell from that too. Light workers are also called to heal. Healing can be about filling a person with light and raising their vibration so that they can bring aspects that are out of balance back into alignment. And again, if you haven't watched the Aquarius 11th house one, I definitely advise you to, because they're both tying into each other because I've done them back to back. But that is what I was saying, that the feminine energy that I was picking up on, which really just feels like the collective of feminines that are you're working at a very high frequency and you've been on the journey, I would say, for decades, years anyway, but I would say that's people that have been doing that for decades. And some, I can think of some rare occurrences where someone might have been on it for years, but you've done the work basically, you know, and the rewards are coming. The message was that the feminines are, you're just to enjoy yourself, you know what I mean, and to be mostly in your feminine energy. And that's why I was basically giving that example too, because all day on Saturday, like I was doing so much housework and decluttering that, and I was like, I do 25 minutes and then I have a break, and I do 25 minutes and I have a break. But I never stopped all day, so much so that my feet were actually, you know, like my feet were throbbing because I'd been on my, I mean, that'll be great for losing calories, but I'd been, you know, on my feet that much. So, and also how this is something that I thought was fascinating, right? This is how they often use my shamanic self energy. I'd put I'd put something in the fridge and I'd put like this glass thing on it, like you know when you get these wee dessert things, these goo things or whatever. I don't know if it's the same, but whatever, it's something like that. And my mum's always like, fuck, she doesn't, I was going to say fuck's sake. She doesn't say fuck's sake at all. But she's like, in her, whatever she would say, she was like, do you know this way to chuck some of these out? You've got loads. I'm like, no, I like them for wee dips and like, or if I'm having wee treats, like little, you know what I mean? But they are kind of annoying because they fall out the cupboard. But anyway, that's what happened. I had it on something and it fell out the fridge and onto my foot, but like on the, you know, on the now, wait a minute. I need to just check that. I'm just going to check before I say it because it's so hilarious. I can never remember that. Left side. Sorry, just take a wee break. What's that song? Darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream. Okay, I think we know what that's picking up on. That's quite interesting when you know what she's really all about. That's definitely about because that video she's doing all this toxic stuff, like she's ripped holes in his shirt. She's talking about being jealous. It's like Jezebel spirit, you know what I mean? Somebody that was came across as a daydream turned out to be a nightmare, wherever that fits in. But and actually that is really relevant. Okay, they're going all over the place here. That is really relevant because on one of the episodes of Timmy that I was watching, that was kind of blowing my mind because I thought, oh my god, it made me feel a bit sick. It's like I'm watching the one from only a year ago, and it's like a gay couple, right? But so people are going to know if you watch this. But um, it's like the guy's new boyfriend, and he doesn't propose, but he proposes that they be boyfriends. That's some kind of fucking modern bullshit that people do nowadays. But so they're going out, right? So this is only this time last year or something like that. And then I think they were living together for a while. But fast forward to now, which is only a year ago, that guy is now going out with the guy he was going out with a best friend. So again, I hope this doesn't fit in somewhere, but no one probably is going to for some people. But it's just the point is, it's like that guy was such a like love bomber, like a love bomber. You know what I mean? Because it was like he came on really strong, really hot and heavy, which wasn't right either because he's got a kid. But um and it's just, but it's horrible because I'm like, you know, I hadn't watched the old ones for a little bit. It's horrible when you're watching it because it's like you see when he meets them, and the two that are now going out now didn't like each other, and so now it's like, oh, it must have been some kind of weird chemistry, you know, toxic chemistry, obviously, but it's kind of like, you know, the guy that's now not the one that's single, but is still, you know, and this is quite interesting because although I'm talking about Timmy, right? Oh my god, look, Maybe there's some kind of recent birthday because the balloons went up. Maybe there's a celebration coming for going through this trauma. But um, it's a shame because I'm watching it and that guy is traumatized. And although they dramatize these things for effect, that is traumatic because it's like he was dating the guy and basically his best pals fucked off with his ex and he's forced to see it all about the place. But I mean, no loss because someday it does that to you. It's not fucking. It's definitely not a real. Well, that's definitely not a real best friend. But it's like it's not even a decent person in the next. But it's yeah. So there's something in all of that. It's just quite horrible because it's like the initial feeling that his name's Harry that was having about the other guy was obviously spot on. So look how that fits in with what I'm saying about be grateful for the friend that shows you what you needed to see, but not what you wanted to see. So I don't know how that's all going to fit in, but I'm just trusting because on Mediumship Monday they just allow me. I mean, that's all the time, but something's homing in on that there. What song's that too? Because it's like he was falling out with the friend, and then they made up, and then that was really the fucking end of the start, the beginning, because then of course he gets pally with the boyfriend, and I think we know the end of the story. I don't know when they started carrying on, but they did start carrying on before they'd actually officially broken up. So again, I can read between the lines here. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be picking up on something like that, where there's been something going like so. If someone's been in a couple and it feels like a karmic person has started carrying on behind somebody's back with a friend, that's really specific. So regardless of gender, so to be specific about it, you're already in a relationship. However, it might fit in other ways. And now the song that's on is I Need a Girl Like You. Yeah, so I feel that's how it's going to fit in. It's like that feels like maybe a masculine that's went through some kind of huge betrayal like that. Whether it's a female masculine or a male masculine, all the genders, because obviously that example they're gay, but it really doesn't matter. And now that song's like, I need a girl like you. And I feel that's the masculines now being like, I don't want to be around jealous, toxic, people that rip my shirts up, run off with my pals. Do you know what I mean? Like that sounds like a guy saying that, but that could easily be women too. You know what I mean? So, not very nice, but see how it's shadow stuff. That would be people that there's. This is I could talk about this for ages. It's like my favorite topic. It's like I love working with the shadow and teaching people to integrate it because when you don't integrate your shadow, you can just basically, let's be frank, be a right C word to people, to yourself and to other people. And you could do things like that because you're like, you've not integrated that party. So you're like, oh, who gives a fuck? I'm just going to do what I want in the moment. I'm going to hurt whoever and I'll worry about it later. Or I might not even worry about it at all because I'm so much of my ego. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's a man or a woman then that's when life will come around and humble you and be like, oh, really? God's like, you think you can go about and treat people like that? I don't think so, pal. We're going to give you some very fucking harsh karma. Unfortunately, that is what will happen. I'm sure you'll have had moments like that, maybe not as extreme, but things like that will have happened. And it will definitely have happened to people around you. Um, and there's one of them with JLo on the screen. Oh, look, I'm so amazing. That's like, no, well, looks like people think you're a fucking nightmare head. Anyway, but so, and seriously though, because if you saw how unhappy Ben Affleck was with JLo, that's what it seemed like. It looked like he was trapped to her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they got back together again because it looks that's fucking weird. You know, they were together years ago, and then he's married to weirdly the other Jennifer, and then they got back together briefly, and then they're already split up again. Again, that's Jezebel Spirit written all over it. It was like some type of controlling weird spell or something. We'll play Neptune and Pisces again. Because now he's not with her anymore. And who knows, he might be back with other Jennifer. Fuck knows what goes on with Lane, but it's quite a good example. Um, but yes, once you've looked at the dark parts of yourself and you've accepted your flaws, warts, and all, and you keep looking at, and I mean I'm going really deep here. I mean, and again, this is because the sun is about to be conjunct my Chiron, the wounded healer. But remember, I'm in the more healed version of my Chiron because I've been doing this for a long time and also helping twin flames. Chiron, 0 degrees, helping the twins because it's in the Gemini. You know what I'm saying? But I had to go through my own pain and still do have to go through my own pain to be able to be that twin flame healer. But it's in the eighth house. So it's like holding the key to the darkness, helping you to heal your darkness. And again, if you've had a session with me, that is exactly what happens. It's deliverance in that little eighth house of mine. And But yeah, you have to get really honest. You have to sort of reflect on, when was I a total C word to other people? Or you don't need to go that strong. I just like to use it for effect. But when was I unfair? Like, when was I acting this way towards that person because of something that was unhealed, unresolved from me from the past? Or like, I had been hurt by this archetype of a friend. Therefore, when somebody else was displaying these same types of characters, I've automatically been like, oh, great, it's happening again. We've all been there. So, it's things like you have to go really, really deep. And that's where it is, usually it's good to do that with another person and understand, you don't want to do that with just anyone. You do really need to trust people, which is why I say I understand why people watch and lurk me for years and then they book a session. Um, but yeah, I'd advise to do that with anyone, whether it's me you're interested in working with one to one or other people, make sure you really do get to sort of, like, again, it's like, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'll start crying, but it's like what I've said about, Gregory that sadly died recently. If you'd not saw me saying that, like, I watched him for years, um, getting ready in the morning and stuff, getting ready, doing my makeup and stuff, whatever, or walking along the beach and like just really, yeah, just really loved his energy. Again, he was nothing like me, very practical, just got straight down to the nitty gritty of the astrology, and he done tarot and stuff too, but it was more as like astrology stuff that I watched. And yeah, so when I booked that session, which I waited about 6 months for it. I had a long waiting list, like 6 months for when I actually had that session, and I wasn't in a good place. I got exactly what I needed out of it. It was just very grounded, practical advice. And like I said, it's just, how special is it that, I know I've said this before, but I get why they're making me say it. I honestly do feel like that. I'm so grateful, and it was a gift that kept on giving, because I just feel I would be really kicking myself if I hadn't booked that session with him, because it was, I can't remember how much it was right now, but it was a lot of money for me at the time. But the funny thing is, I think it might actually be cheaper than what my sessions are now. But do you know what I mean? It was, might not have been. It might have been. I don't know. I can't sort of remember it being. Fucking should have been if it wasn't. Nah, it probably would have been 200. I can't even remember if it was over 200. But anyway, it was worth it, whatever it was. And but it was more the little things. It was like him saying to me, like, "Why did you book this? Like, you're reading this spot on." But he wasn't saying it a dickhead way. I mean, he was saying it a nice way, and like just kind of telling me to own how it is I do the astrology and the shamanism and everything. Because that's, you see what he done. He weaved numerology, astrology, and um tarot. That was his thing. He just was able to really practically break things down. And I'm able to do that with my Mercury retrograde in Taurus in the house of Virgo, because he was a double Virgo and a cat moon, I think he was. Um, but anyway, the point was, it was like, the things he said to me are so valuable because it was about people really connecting with me on live streams more so than anything else. I wouldn't bother doing standalone videos. You know what I mean? And it was me that was kind of like, oh well, I do quite like doing them too. But it's funny because like the more, like, it just feels like weird. I mean, I can't. I mean, it is literally like only like, well, it must be. I don't know. I found it a week. It must be like 3 weeks since he died or something. But it feels like ever since I discovered that he died, I've noticed how true that was, of how boring I find it, like not having people chatting on just I can't express it. But anyway, I suppose the point is like, don't think that you're always gonna have, oh, I can do that later, I can do it later, I can do it later. Because although that's a good, well, it's a little bit good, but it's a bittersweet example of, I'd watched him for years and then thought, yeah, I really want to have a session, and then and then I'm grateful that I had it. I've also had scenarios where, like, it reminds me of Louise Hay. Like, and although you might be like laughing at that one, but before Louise Hay died, which is many, many years ago now, I'd always really wanted to meet her. And it's not that unrealistic, because like some of these people would go to Hay House events and stuff. Like, I have met some other people, and again, I don't, side note, I don't actually really like Hay House stuff, to be honest. Like, it's not like I don't, I still get their cards and stuff if they got a sale on, but like, Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of love and light, fake, false light people. Anyway, there's a lot of people that are genuine too. But anyway, the point is, um, when she died, I remember having that feeling of I'm never going to be able to get to meet her, and I really wanted to meet her. Do you know what I mean? So it's not exactly the same example because I don't think it wouldn't have been impossible to meet her. You know what I mean? But so I don't know where that's. Yeah, I've only met Kyle Gray. Oh yes, so I've met him too. That was when I met. Remember, I met him when I was in my dark night. So I met him at at a Hay House thing. Um, and when the photo was taken of us, the light was so blinding that I had to go back and ask for another one, and there was a huge big queue. And remember, I was very very shy. I'm shy with things like that anyway, but I went on my own, and I was very shy. But I thought, no, fuck it, I've just waited in that. I'm going back for the picture. So but I look like shit in the picture, man. I just look, and I always laugh because my friend that lived like in London when I went to go see it. It's quite funny because I put it in the decluttering pile the other night. Although I like this jumpsuit, I always remember her saying, Cornwall, what the fuck are you? And she always calls me by my surname. She's like, Cornwall, what the fuck are you? Like, no, you look like a mum. It's like, what? She's like, it's too mumsy. Like, you're way too hot for this. Like, don't wear that again. She actually was like, put that in the bin. Like, just put that in the bin when you go home. Put in the bin now. It's like, hello to you too. It's great to see you. But anyway, quite funny. Again, I do appreciate the honesty, but I mean, we can have different tastes. But true story. Um, but um, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what that means to people. But I suppose the message is don't take for granted that you can do this. You can do this. You know, next week or you can do this next month. And I'm not just talking about booking a session with a healer or a session with whatever. Like this can be. I'll catch up with him when I'm in a better place. This more feels like the masculine and the feminine, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, because you could, but it's yeah, I think that's where they're going with that. But it's like I'll be able to reunite with him when I've got this, and this sorted, or I feel like this good about myself. And I suppose the point is, you're good enough now, and that is just I feel that is just the message. You're good enough now, and it feels like for those masculine that resonates with, it's time to heal together. And I'm not shitting you. The song Perfect just come on, which I don't really like too much. But Ed Sheeran Perfect. I can't remember the words to either, but it's like, it's so whatever that means. But look at what I was saying. Like you're perfect for each other. You're perfectly imperfect for each other. I've never noticed that before in that video. I've seen that actress in like other films that I like. But anyway, side note. She's really pretty. I'm sure that's the one in I don't know the name of the film, but yeah. Um Right. We might think that to be high vibrational, bright light worker, anchoring a new evolved frequency on Earth wouldn't. Oh, I just read that bit. I've read enough of that. I'm bored. I've been taught. I've spoke that much about it. I talk about the shadow all the time. Right. Let's see what. I never watched Towie. I watched. You've never watched it at all. Oh my God, Charlotte. What the fuck? Been on for like over 10 years now. I don't know. I don't know how many years now. Maybe more like 13 or 14 years actually because it was the 10-year anniversary a few years ago. So we've lost it. It's like I was saying that to my best pal. We were talking the other day. It's like all those years since 2020 have just been lost. Do you know what I mean? Um, I watched the whole of Dawson. Oh, I watched the whole of Dawson's Creek again a month ago. It's so much easier to watch things I've watched for. Yeah. Oh, Dawson's Creek. Yeah. I only watched a couple of episodes of that when I caught them sometime last year. Remember? And I actually did film one of a Mediumship Monday that I've never published before. Maybe I should go back and watch it and see when if it's ready to be published. But it was quite deep. And I think you might have said that to trigger that memory, because from memory, it was actually about it was something along the lines of somebody always knowing it was you, but it was something like that. I think it was to do with Joey about Pacey. It was like always knowing it was you, but they had to find themselves first before they could find you. So that's going to be very relevant to what I was tuning into. Thanks for that, Charlotte. I was in the shower or I'd be more chatty. No problem. You do you. The night I met Kyle, people broke into our home and attacked my ex. Oh my God. The angels weren't fucking here for that night, were they? My ex's black obsidian bracelet had broken just days before. Wow. Yeah, I don't save my, or actually, it depends which way you look about it. The angels were helping because hopefully nobody was hurt. But I seem to remember you telling me that. That is horrendous. Um, I don't save my sequins for going out because I rarely go out these days anyway. And why not feel sparkly every day? Exactly. Fucking hell. Exactly, Charlotte. Right there with you. And that's kind of interesting because it wasn't sequins, but it was, I don't know what you call it, but what is that kind of crinkly? It's like this material that's kind of shiny and crinkly, Um, I don't know if you know what I mean, but there is a word for it, but I can't think what the word is. But I've got a dress in two different colors like that. One's a nice forest green color. That's like my favorite sort of color, and I wore that to one of my best pals' weddings. The one that wedding where I got very drunk. But so that dress could definitely get another outing because it was nice and I spent most of the night throwing up or falling asleep. So, moving on. And I've got a navy as well, and that's lovely. And I've never actually worn that one yet. So yes, maybe I shall wear that this year. But yeah, anyway, there's a top that I've got that's kind of that for it. I'll wear it. I'll wear it soon. But I thought that's kind of like a going out top, but I could totally wear that like on just a normal day too. But I tend to live by that rule too. Um, but I'm not going to bring it. I'm not going to push it so far that I'm going to be sitting on here with like my going out dresses and that. Maybe taking a bit too far. Maybe sometimes, but you wouldn't really know because it's the top half. Um, Pacey, yes. Oh yes, was a Pacey all the way. Pacey all the way. Um, right. Let's get some of these cards because these are my new ones, and let's see with what's come out with those. So, like I said, to me, is the oh yeah, shit, I forgot to look that up, and then I started. Oh, let's see. I started telling the story about the thing falling on my foot, and then I fuck knows where it would led to. But that's the fun of this. Um, these feet were made for talking. That's funny. Spiritual meaning of foot pain. How am I feeling supported in my choices or not? Am I asking too much of myself or pushing myself forward when I'm actually not ready? That's quite funny because in my case, what I was getting at was like, wait a minute, that is just, I need to ask another question. Right. So the left side is feminine, right? And the right side is masculine. But if I'm remembering this right, and because the thing fell on, oh, this is so fucking confusing. Because it fell on my left foot, I think that's about actually needing to balance out your feminine. Or it's the other way around. I think it depends on how you take that. I don't know why am I having such trouble working that one out? Or no, maybe because it fell on my left foot, it's actually the usual. Maybe that is where I always hurt myself on the left side. And it's about the masculine needing support. It's weird. It's like whatever that represents, it's actually the opposite when you're needing to balance. So take that however it resonates. But the point was, in my case, I think it actually does fit with what I'm saying. In my case, it was because I'd done so much the day before that I believe they made me hurt my foot. Like it's not like really, but it has got a bruise. Because I thought, fuck, that must be bruised. I hadn't looked at it, and when I looked, I was like, oh, I wish I hadn't looked because it's like, but it was like it was to get me to slow down. So then it did mean that yesterday I did just like, yeah, I didn't watch a film. I just watched loads of episodes of Timmy. Wasted my, but I don't feel like I wasted my Sunday. Like I just kind of needed to do that because I've done so much the day before. So take that how it resonates for you. Sometimes you do just need to like not do so much, to balance the other part of you. Right. Ah, others' opinions. I feel bound by my culture, by my family's beliefs on how I should live my life. OMG, that's come out in the shorts. I'm working towards breaking free from limiting myself based on their beliefs. So this is why I love these cards because they're very specific. So again, that has come through on the shorts because I don't think it came from the Aquarius one. It's come from the shorts that it's like a lot of this isn't just. I mean that probably going to mostly be masculine. But that can be the feminine and the masculine that you're breaking free of your things that don't serve you, your culture, your family's beliefs on how you should live your life, and breaking free of just basically other people's beliefs. And that's very much Saturn going into Aries on Saturday. And Saturn is about Saturday, isn't it? That's why it's called that. But it's that's another thing I've just noticed actually. It's time for that to stop and be the leader of your own life. Now Ed Sheeran Thinking Out Loud's just come on. And it isn't all Ed Sheeran songs. It's the biggest videos of the 2010s. I think that's the one I can't stand. All sound the same. People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of a plan. Okay, maybe it has got meaning to what I'm. But I'll just keep doing this, hoping that you understand, baby. Now, take me. Okay, maybe I do kind of like. I liked it when it came out. I can't stand it now. It's overplayed. I'm single. Oh, there's that one again. I'm single. I'm single right now. I'm not attached to anyone, and I'm not looking to get into a relationship at this time. But that screams healing codependency. And that's great. That is how divine masculine energy realizes, oh, you're my soulmate. It must be oh my God, look at what I just sang. It must be written in the stars because you most definitely are my destiny. We belong together. So I feel that's what they're saying is because people have taken the time to clear their energy of codependency, of people that had too much to, whoa, that was a saucy move. People that have had too much to say about your life. You've healed from that. And it's like, oh, I miss my soulmate. I miss the yin to my yang. I miss you. I wish things were different. Missing you. Feeling lost. I'm trying to make this work, but I feel so lost. I don't know what to do or say anymore, and it's easier just to stay silent. Oh, a bit sad, isn't it? Let the past go. Can we rewind time and go back to before we were both broken down by life? Our past hold us back from our future. God, that's a bit in the feels. Right, I think will we pull one more? What else? Who came out? Oh man, there's a lot here about people needing to heal because we've got not the right time. I'm overwhelmed with responsibilities. I don't have the time or energy for a relationship. So that's two cards about that. So take that on board. But if you're wanting, though it is 11:44 when I said that, so this could be past energy for some people, but for some people, it'll inevitably be present. But it is 11:44. You're my favorite. You're the person I want to call when something good or bad happens. The first thought when I have news to share. You're my person. Your person. You're your person's person. Um, let me go. Oh. You deserve all the good things in the world. And right now, I'm not in a space to give you the type of connection you deserve. Live your life and let me go. I'm sorry, guys. I went a bit sad. I'm not really here for this. We're putting them back in the box. But you see, it does fit with what I was saying about shadow integration. Sometimes it is just not the right time. So this could be energy of the past, or it could be present. You're all in different timelines. But if you want something that's a wee bit more present, a wee bit more uplifting, go and watch Aquarius. That's funny. Could we just could we get some clarity? So give me one specifically for people that it's not the right time. Someone close to you is sincere. So yeah, I feel the people that are still healing, they are sincere. They're just healing and it's not the right time. And the path you take is up to you. And you don't have to, like the card said, you don't need to hang around and wait on this person. You can move on with your life. But if you're on the twin flame journey, and you're clear about what you want to manifest, I'd imagine you want to manifest them. Be clear on your outcome, but you want to manifest them in their ultimate happiness. And when you're both can be happy together, unlock the doors to your happiness. Oh, that's nice. So for people that that's past energy and you're closer to communication or seeing each other or something like that, we have thinking. Yes, you may be on someone's mind. So you're on someone's mind and new beginnings are on this person's mind. Look forward to a new beginning. So they're answering what I'm asking. Like, this person is thinking about contacting you. They can't stop thinking about you. They've done the healing. And I feel that's like what I've already said on this. Because, you know, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing anything I'm doing, I'm always just bringing through collective energy. And the message clearly is coming through is that, like, there's something about people that have healed enough delaying the process even further than it needs to be. Transformation, yeah, look, I think I need to change the title. Enter into the light from out the darkness. Like, it's like you no longer need to stay in that place of healing, healing, healing. And any healing that you've got to do is with your person, because it's time to talk, because it's Gemini season tomorrow. Talking keeps your relationship alive. Talk. So again, use your fucking common sense, as I used to say all the time, for what's what. But yeah, secret admiring, suppressing, timid. This could simply be some people a little shy, timid, all these kind of words to come forward. Well, baby, now take me, you know what I mean? They do all sound like that, don't they? People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of a plan. You didn't know? Right. What have I done? So I feel the mediumship tonight was general energy for whoever wants to take it. That's what I feel. Because I'm not going to sit here much longer. And the inner child was stuff that's already cut. I feel we've done them too. So I'm going to end it with some healing, which might only just be 10 minutes. It's all healing, by the way, if you're new. But and thank you for joining me. And if you want to join me tomorrow, I'm going to do Pisces in the 12th house, which is all about hidden secrets. I mean, secrets usually are hidden, aren't they? Or they wouldn't be a secret. But yeah, hidden stuff, spiritual awakening, psychic stuff, your subconscious blocks, your subconscious fears, desires, all that kind of jazz. Is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Whoa, whoa. Just added that bit in. I know it's done and I let you down. Is it too late to say I'm sorry now? That feels so. Wait a minute. We need the masculine deck. I loved that song when it came out. The timing of it was quite funny in my life, anyway. Right. So where is? Oh, it's not here. It's not here. I don't know where the other. It must be through there. Where's the masculines one? Why did that song just come on? Oh yeah, and also because she's wearing a yin yang outfit. The dancing in that video is cool. I don't feel good enough for you. So somebody could have been healing that within them. That's all the masculines. I feel so much regret for everything I've said and done as Justin Bieber Sorry's on. Amazing. And I'm coming back soon. This message keeps coming up in different decks. Oh, and now they don't want me to say anything else. So right. Is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm missing more than just your body. But even that, like, you know, this person misses all of you. It's not just that. Time for a nap, but they're healing. Time for a nap says to me, healing. Chop wood. So just you keep doing what you do to make you happy, to be fair. Because this person's working, all the people that this resonates with, this person's working out what is not for them. That says, not for you, nope. This person's like, this is not for me. That's already come through on this one or the one before. This is all the karmic endings. Yeah, this is not for me. This is just chaos and conflict, and I want peace. That watch Aquarius. That's what came through. Yeah, this is draining. Time for a nap. Person's need to heal. I need to build a new life of peace in the here and now. So whoever that fits with. To the sea, there's something about the sea or the ocean again. To feminine. So again, some feminines could live beside the sea. Not just me. Lots of feminines live beside the sea. Or the ocean in America. Yes, because look, the masculines are fed up observing whilst they've chased things that all that glitters wasn't gold. They've chased a life that wasn't for them. It's turned out to be like, nope, don't want this. I want my yin. I want the yin to my yang. Yeah, in the here and now, and I want it now. That's why I'm coming back soon. So yeah, I'm tired of thinking I've overthought myself. Look, why? Why did I do this? Why did this happen? Why did I go the wrong way? Here and now, that's came out. Yeah, here and now, I want my soulmate. That's very clear. I want my soulmate in the here and now. That's the twin flame card in that deck. Love it. Love how that came through. Right, okay, so not got much energy left in me, so I'm going to end this. Not got much energy left in me, so I'm going to end this. That could also be about karmic endings, like something that's drained someone and they're like, yeah, I'm done here. Right. Let's get one back for the masculine, actually. I forgot I wasn't pulling the Shakira just came on. Wherever we're meant to be together, I'll be yours and you'll be mine. And that's the deal, my dear. I've said something wrong there because it's meant to rhyme. It actually isn't that song. It's another one I don't know, but that's what came to mind. Wherever we're meant to be together, I'll be yours and you'll be mine. My light's flickering. It hurts when you ghost me. Oh my god, this relates to the Aquarius one. It hurts when you ghost me. It makes me feel like I'm nobody special when I know that's not true. It's not your fault. Please don't blame yourself. Oh, we spoke about blame. This journey is designed for us both to grow. Yes, as painful as it is, that's true. I see right through to your soul, past your guard, and I know you know it. You're safe to be yourself with me. You need a soul retrieval to feel more empowered. So whoever needs a soul retrieval, book a session. That's what I specialise in. And it's on the back again. It's not your fault. Please don't blame yourself. This journey is designed for us both to grow. So what that tells me with all those cards, which are my own if you're new around here, because that's come out twice, and because I spoke so much about shame and blame, because it's not me, I'm just being the mouthpiece of what God and the guides wanted to bring through. There's a huge emphasis on not blaming yourself or coming out of blaming yourself and not, focusing on blame for the other person. Right? Like more like it feels like these conversations that need to be had are about just understanding where the person was at when they specifically ghosted you, because that's what's come through another live and what's come through again. So being open to what the person says. And sometimes it's funny that I mentioned Terry. It's reminding me of like a really, really old episode where the guy, like, he doesn't cheat, but he like emotionally kind of cheat. You know what I mean? It's like he was talking to, like, look at my face, like talking to those kind of girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's loads of names I could say, but I'm trying to do it. So it's kind of like, but he was with a really good looking girl, and he, was messaging those type of girls, and so, and anyway, this is not. I don't know if this is the best example because she was fucking nuts. But anyway, I do really like her. She's not like that now, but at the time it was like holy fucking shit, like the Deal with Death was or something. But anyway, like it was sad to watch because it was just basically it was like it's like what I'm saying with this couple I'm thinking about, like they could have actually been a really good pairing, I feel. But it wasn't. I'm not going to say twin flames, but like it's or Roar Katy Perry just come on. I like that. Um, it was toxic, it went toxic, but it was because there was like a lot of chemistry, but it went really toxic. Both people were quite jealous, and it was quite toxic, really. But the point of I think why they showed me it was like I always just remember she kept being like, I'd like said she was quite aggressive, what I mean? She was quite an aggressive female. So she was like, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you do it? She kept asking, why did you do it? And like he kept like being like, I don't know. And it's like he actually couldn't even say why. And it was quite painful to watch because it was like, because like you said, I've given this example before, but because I've watched this program for so long, it's like you see that you've seen these people grow up from like being like, 18, 21 to like now like 31 and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And it's and I think he was actually telling the truth. Like he didn't actually really know. Like it's like, but it was like he was clearly self-sabotaging because he was telling himself, "Oh, it's going to fuck," I'm going to fuck up at some point, or she's going to cheat on me, or I'm going to cheat. I may as well just. It's like the subconscious was like, "I'm just going to create a problem that isn't there." But really, that's both those people weren't healed because, like this was years ago now, and I can think that both people, when I've seen them on other things, they both are a lot older. I think and the thing is, I think they're actually friends now. Um, and it's just really cringe when you think back. So that could all fit in for whoever this resonates with too. But the point is, sometimes I feel that's true when somebody acts from a place of not bits of him. Like sometimes people, yeah, they don't know how to explain why they done something. They were in a different place. And I'm not just talking about if someone was drunk or under the influence or something. Like, like sometimes it's just to do with people's mental and emotional states. And really to talk about, because that said a soul retrieval, when people are disassociated or soul lost, like that's why as well some people might not be able to tell you. Like they were literally detached from that side of them. And now they've like pulled back that part of their soul, they could feel like a whole different person. And that is what happens as a result of the work that I put out here for free. It enables people to pull back parts of their soul. And that's I'm really proud of that I put that work out there for people to do that. It doesn't even need to cost you any money. But to go back to what came through in this, if you want to go that level deeper with shadow integration, and I have actually got, it's quite funny because my guides always do that. Like I can't control what comes out with the cards, but it's like they're promoting it for me because I haven't really mentioned that, but I put that on the schedule about a month ago or something. The shadow integration sessions because I do that, and if that's what somebody needs, that's what I do. But it felt like there's a need to actually have something called that on the schedule because it will really, what you call things really speaks to people. So, you know, if you want a more personal sort of soul retrieval, if stuff that you don't that you can't do on your own, basically book a session. Right. Okay. Now let's pull a word for the feminine and a word for the masculine, and then I'm going to end it. The feminine's word. Oh, sorry, I fucking love this. The feminine's word is peace, and that was the main message coming through in, I think it was the Aquarius live stream. But basically, they're both merged together because the cards for this was duality merge, and it was the same. The message coming through on that live stream was about the masculine wanting to choose peace. So although this is a feminine's word, this is a masculine's emotional receptive side, peace. So makes perfect sense with what have come out. What have we got for the masculine and the feminine's masculine side? As I'm dreaming about peanut butter right now, which is going to be my reality. Look at this. The masculines are not telling you. It's literally a blank word. So what I'm taking that is it's like this shock surprise energy of You're not getting to know. Like you just, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know where they're at. You're like, am I going to see them soon? Are they just started the healing process? Are they in the middle of it? Are they still fucking around in Karmicville? Way different for people, for different for different people. But what they do want to share is their gratitude. Oh, I thought it was that. Count One Republic, Counting Stars. How does that go again? I love all their songs. Too late to apologize. Too late. Maybe that's some of them. It's not too late to apologize. Just apologize. Right. Right. Okay. So let's just focus. And if you want to join in this, I'm just going to do I feel like I want use a card to inspire me. What will we do this wee healing on? Enjoy. Oh yeah, that come up here. Yeah, enjoy happiness. Okay. Because I'm happy, clap along. I don't know, can't even remember the words, but enjoy every moment of your life. There is happiness at the end of the tunnel. Look how many things are really similar. There's happiness at the end of the tunnel. After darkness, there is light. All these things. There's a theme. Enjoy happiness. Right. So I'm going to do some type of healing about that. So thank you for joining me live or on the replay. If you would like to leave a comment after this is finished, showing your gratitude, I would very much appreciate that because it helps the algorithm. And we need all the help we can fucking get around here. Because of the slowing down, but I keep going regardless. But yeah. So close your eyes if you want to do this. But you do you, boo. So I want you to breathe in, telling yourself relax. And breathe out, telling yourself release. And breathe in, telling yourself relax. And breathe out, giving yourself permission to release. And as you continue to breathe in, relaxing, and breathing out, release, as my stomach is rumbling, to tell you though I was hungry again, I want you to, we've already detached, but I feel I want to do that again. I want you to imagine a cloud of mist whirling above the top of your head. Imagine it like a tornado, and it's going from the top of your head, whirling all the way down from your upper chakras, down over your lower chakras, clearing out all the crap, all the stuff that doesn't serve you, anything that's stopping you from enjoying your happiness, anything that any part of you that is insisting that life has to be hard and that you have to keep getting confirmation in people and situations of how life isn't fair and how hard it is and how painful it is. Anything that's like a kind of thought form like that that's in your consciousness, you're wanting to clear that out. So we're whirling that's whirling round in the tornado, and anything that's making you feel like you've not done enough or you need to do more, especially for those of you that have done enough and you've done enough healing on your own and it's time to come forward now. You'll know what one you are. That's going whirling all the way down over your knees, which are about worthiness, down over your feet. And again, release and release, release down to Mother Earth to be taken away. Releasing the pain, but keeping the lessons, and keeping the lessons in the sense of you've experienced all the stuff that you don't want to ever experience again, where possible. As in, you've experienced the very unhealthy, toxic friendships. You've experienced the unbalanced work situations, whatever wording would be right for you. You've experienced users in all areas of life. You've experienced sabotage. You've experienced having, the wool pulled over your eyes and maybe even being like, I'm not sure I trust this person, and then ignoring your intuition and then getting the confirmation. You've went through these lessons. You're ready to enjoy the happiness, like those two cards said. So I want you to cut the cords from fear, lack, negativity, the old earth, leaving the pain behind, and now connect to the new earth, a peace, calm, abundance, balance of your inner masculine and feminine energy. Having done the shadow work, having integrated your shadow, and those of you that need that deeper shadow integration, you'll be led to the right healers that can help you with that, whether it be myself or others. And for those of you that have done the healing that you need to do on your own, and you're strongly getting all the signs that it's time to reunite, whether that be initiating a conversation or like as in a reunion or getting into a full union, every single twin flame union starts off with a conversation. Don't overwhelm yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but that's the message coming through. So now we connect the new cords to new earth of peace, calm, abundance, balance, your masculine, feminine. Pull up. Now that what you're pulling up is you're pulling up healthy connections, healthy friendships, healthy friendships, healthy, oh, I said that twice, healthy communities, I meant to say, well, doubly healthy friendships, healthy communities, healthy lovers, being in a safe, secure, loving relationship where you don't have to sleep with one eye open. You can sleep peacefully and soundly, knowing that you're each other's best friend, that you've got each other's back. You could already be in that relationship now and just really feel the gratitude for, thank fuck I do not have to deal with those feelings ever again because I trust this person wholeheartedly, regardless of their past. Or if you're on the shoes on the other foot, thank fuck this person doesn't hold my past against me and trusts me wholeheartedly and just enjoys where we're at now. If you're not there, just put it out there. This is what you're manifesting with the right person. And the right person, if you're on the true twin flame path, is your twin flame. But both showing up in your highest frequency. And remember, they're really getting me stressed that somebody showing up in their highest frequency might not be the highest that's possible for them to reach. But the point is, they're trying and they're healing. And that's why I think the message keeps coming through. If you know that you've been trying to heal, there's a lot of you that you've possibly reached as far as you're going to reach on your own. I don't know, I'm not going to bring cards in it. They were trying to get me to. So pull up from the new earth that joy, that happiness. We don't even need to overcomplicate this. Just pull up whatever joy and happiness means to you. And what they're saying to me is, be open to what that means. You might have actually changed and grown so much that what made you happy a year ago is not nowhere. I'm hearing for some people it's nowhere near what makes you happy now. This is a really weird example, but I can kind of see where they're going. It's like when I spoke about this really recently. It feels like, but I can think of two examples, and it was two examples that came from two very wise ladies of my life, two of my best friends. But it reminds me when one said to me on my 40th, "What? Don't think about what everyone else does on their 40th, which is usually like over the top fucking forced parties and whatever. Some people do like that, but all I know is I had a party for my 30th and it was like torture. But it's like, it's some people like that, but you know what I mean? It's don't think about what everybody else expects you to do, like some big extravagant holiday. Oh yeah, I'm going to such and such for my 40th. It's like, you don't need to deal with that shit. Like just think about what it is you want to do. And my answer was something really pretty simple, and it was things I did end up doing. Like I'm just trying to remember. My 40th isn't an example. I think I actually liked my 39th better because my mum took me away overnight for a wee, like it was like it wasn't a spa weekend. It was just overnight. But it was perfect. You know what I mean? It was exactly all the things I like to do. It was like we Nah, because it was quite fancy actually. We had a nice wee dinner, and I don't know if we got a massage. Oh no, I did get a massage. Oh no, that yeah. It must have been longer ago than that because I soaked up the jibber jabber from anyway from the person massaging me. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, the point was, you know what I mean? That's not an example because that is like a luxurious thing to do. But you know what I mean? Like, so for instance, like yeah, this year's a better example. Like I just went and walked around one of my favorite places. You know what I mean? It doesn't even need to cost a lot of money. So what brings you happiness? But then I was also being spoken to about at Christmas when me and my other best pal were, I was really wanting to go out and dance, but actually when it came down to it, I was like, I don't want to go. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got to go with how you are in the moment. And it wasn't fear or anything. I just actually didn't feel like it. And I was like, I'd much rather just stay in with a takeaway with one of my favourite people and watch a film. And we did. You know what I mean? So that is, and it's, I think I really now know why they're showing me that I keep seeing shorts about it's really funny. It was this woman post shorts about like like when you're over 40, blah, some things to do with when you're over 40, but it was a really it was a funny shorts and it was like when you go on a night out and you're over 40 and it was like she goes out and it's got something like say it's like she's went out at 7:30 and then it's like 7:40. She's looking about bored and looking to go home. And then it was like 8, she's already left. And then like by it was like 8:30, she's in her bed. Now it doesn't need to be quite that extreme, but I did get the point. It's kind of true. You know what I mean? But it doesn't actually need to be true for everyone. Because like I said, when I am in the mood, if I want to dance and I pace myself and I would for my past self was advising my don't drink in the house because you don't really need that, or just don't drink at all. Just go out and dance because I don't. Most of them don't even fucking drink. I don't need it. You'd have a much better time. You know what I'm saying? So there's my past self. You know. But you know what I mean? Just it doesn't need to have anything to do with dancing or drinking or not drinking or blah blah blah. Whatever it is, what brings you joy? And there's something really strongly coming through about peace. So whatever that means to you. So I feel I want to sort of bring this to a close now. So just really sort of take the last few moments to really sort of tune in, notice what words come to you, what makes you happy, who makes you happy, what do you enjoy doing, what do you enjoy listening to, what do you enjoy watching. And again, it can be the most stupid, simplest thing. It's not stupid if you enjoy it. Like look at the example I gave. I binge watched. It wasn't even the recent. It was binge watched old episodes of Towie yesterday, and that was exactly what I needed to do because I'd done a lot the day before. And actually, I'm just realizing now too because I'd caught up with one of my pals on the Friday. Oh yeah, that I think that's why they're saying that with that example as well. Like because it was warm on Friday, like we got a bit of the sun, and then because she knows I don't drink, she was like, I know sometimes you might want to drink something, but she was just, that's what all my friends are like. They wouldn't want to pressure me to, because that's what a real friend would do. She was like, don't you drink if you don't want to, and whatever. So I was like, no, actually, I do kind of fancy it. So it was funny. It was like I was kind of on it, but it wasn't even really that. I'm all my words are getting all muddled up here. But what I'm trying to say is, I didn't end up drinking. Like I didn't, and it wasn't a chore not to drink. It just was that was the way it worked out. And I had because I had beer in the fridge. Like I've always got beer in the fridge for like other people and that. But it was like I didn't. Yeah, it just didn't happen. And I think that's a good point. That sometimes you've got to give yourself like the leeway of I could if I wanted to. I actually don't want to. You know what I mean? And then I definitely didn't regret that on the Saturday when I got a shitload of housework done. Do you know what I mean? Because I wasn't hungover. I wouldn't have been hungover anyway, because I would only ever have like one or two. That's where I'm at, but or none. But so yeah, take again that it feels like there could be stuff to do with alcohol here for people too. But again, can be whatever. So because for some people you might like to have a wee drink in the sun, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you keep it in balance and it doesn't imbalance other areas of your life. But for me, where I'm at, it's not worth it. But it is worth it on average once a year when I want to kick the arse out of it. And that time is coming soon. That is August. So anyway, right. Maybe before if I get bored, but you do you, boo. Right. So I'm going to bring us to a close. So I want to wish you all, those of you that are in the same time zone as me, that you have a peaceful sleep whenever it is you're going to sleep, and that you wake up tomorrow when you intend to wake up feeling clarity and at peace and able to get on with your day with whatever you wanted to do. And for those of you that are in other time zones and your bedtime isn't for a while, same thing. I hope that you have a peaceful sleep and you get on with the clarity and the focus and everything that you want to do tomorrow as well. And if you do want to join me tomorrow at roughly around 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, it really depends. Just kind of keep your notifications on. I will be doing the 12th house Pisces energy reading. Oh, hello! Hello, Brianna. How are you doing? I love you too. I hope you're well and you're very welcome. So, yes, I'll see you if I see you. But I'm going to get going because my stomach is very much rumbling. And like I said, I want carbs and I'm going to have carbs. So actually, I'm going to because I'm going to just, I know some of you are talking anyway, but I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And when I get to 2, you're going to think about your eyes. And when I get to 1, you're going to open your eyes wide awake, wide awake. So ready to come back now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thinking about opening your eyes. 1, wide awake, wide awake. Thanks, Claire. Been body doubling, updating my vision board while I've been listening. Loving it. 10 points to Charlotte. Do you know, Charlotte, I remember when you said that like about 6 months ago or something. I'm sure I said then I needed to do that and I didn't do it. I've not updated my vision board in like, I taught a vision board workshop in the membership, which I've now not had that membership for 3 years or something. But that was a good workshop though. I might do that again. Maybe they're guiding me to do that again. But I don't think I don't think I even done it then. My whole house is a vision board. That's the point. My whole house is my pal was even saying that on Friday. She loves shit like that too. And it's like it is true. My whole house is a vision board. But anyway, I'm going to get going. So yes, join me tomorrow if you're about. But yeah, thanks if you were watching live or on the replay. And I'm going to have some peanut butter on toast because that's one of my favourite things to do. And on the little diet that I'm starting soon, you can't have that. So yes, smile. Cheer others up with a smile. A smile goes a long way. I just love this. We've got happiness, enjoy life, and smile. Shape of You, Ed Sheeran's just come on. I swear to God, it isn't an Ed Sheeran thing. It's the biggest videos of 2010. So he must have been dominating 2010. Right, anyway, I'm going to get going now. So I'll see you tomorrow. See you later. Oh, and also, remember, something amazing is about to happen. Expect it.